Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to friends and viewers of the Comrade Show wherever you are in the globe. Today, the 20th of August, 2023, is yet another important day in our lives, in the lives of everybody living on Mother Earth, and especially in the life of Nigerians. Your darling program, The Comrade and Friends, have got a lot packed in for you today. And you know, regularly as we do, we will serve you. Peter Gregory Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, will be visiting Edo State, to be precise, Benin City, the heartbeat and the heartland of our nation, Nigeria. And you know, the local government election beckons. In a few weeks' time, local government elections will be taking place in Edo State. And wow, the presidential candidate of Labour Party will be in town. In another 180 days, the presidential court is supposed to conclude and give us their verdict. You agree with me that issues relating to all papers have been filed and we are waiting for answers. Precisely, sometimes in September, we'll make that 180 days. We shall be talking about that as well. And of course, the niggling issues here and there regarding the presidential elections and whether the sitting president would vacate office following pronouncements by the Presidential Tribunal Court. These are more we shall be talking about. Do not touch that die. The Comrade Show will be with you in a moment.
Labour Party,
now waiting at the here so Peter Obi dey come Benin.
Yes, so he dey show people of Edo State. Our man, the connect man of the Nigerian masses, Peter Obi, they come Benin on Monday, August 21st, 2023, to come join for Edo State Labour Party mega rally for the local government election where they come. So, okay now, Peter Obi go show support and give party flag to all the Labour Party chairmen and councillor candidates for the 18 local government area for Edo State to show say him and the party support them for the election wey go happen on Saturday, September 2nd, 2023 for Edo State. Make we all come out on Monday, August 21st. Come welcome Peter Obi to Edo State again and join this mega rally. We them go do by 10 o'clock down for morning for Baptist Convention Ground for TV Road off Siloko Road, Benin City. For this election, remember to vote for the picture. We show Papa, Mama, and the Pikin. Labour Party, forward ever. Bam.
Comrade Show, wait, Comrade Lante Oriake. This is the Comrade Show.
Wow, thank you so much, Comrade Lante and viewers of the Comrade Show. I must tell you, I really love that jingle welcoming Peter Gregory Obi to Edo State, to Benin City, the heartbeat of the nation. Friends and viewers of the Comrade Show, your darling program is here. I'm not alone today. I have the CNC of the Comrade Show, Comrade Lante Oriake, with me. But Peter Gregory will be coming to Edo State. We formed the fulcrum of what we are going to be talking about today, but we shall save it for the last and talk about other few issues here and there. Just before I bring in Comrade Lante Oriake, I want to say congratulations to the Spanish team for winning the World Cup today. I was rooting seriously for the Lioness of England, but they fell short and lost by a goal to nil to Spain. Congratulations to Spain, a la Madrid or a la Spanish team. I know, Comrade Lante, you will be between 6 and 7 now. You don't know whether to twist or tweet or don't know what to do because you are residents of these two great nations. So you know it's Uhuru for you. So as I bring you in, I want you to speak on the Spanish ladies doing you proud today. Comrade Lante Oriake.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist Iremira. Thank you so very much. It's a happy day for me. Honestly, at some point, in fact, immediately England qualified for the finals and it became very clear that it was going to be England and Spain. I really, was torn between the two of them. And I can proudly say that I'm a citizen of both countries. And honestly, I just said, man, let the better team win, because at the end of the day, my affinity with these two countries, honestly, is I cannot just say which one I'm more loyal to. I am Spanish by everything. I'm British by
Everything too.
everything as well. And of course, these two teams are they play these finals. I thought I saw a good game. I thought that the Spaniards were better. What can we say? The better side actually won. I actually didn't root for anybody, to be fair, to be honest, because I don't know. I have loyalty with these two countries very strongly, man.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think in Nigeria, like it's always say, your enemy's enemy is your best friend. Since the Nigeria team was
Absolutely.
removed by England, I know many people back home may not be rooting for England because if not for that defeat, probably we would have been playing the finals now. But in all, I say,
No, so, sorry, sir, just to cut in. To be fair, I rooted strongly for Nigeria, and I thought that Nigeria was better. It's just that, as some, due to technicalities, we probably just didn't, we're not clinical with our penalties. I actually would have liked Nigeria to have got to this final, probably win. Nigeria will remember my first choice anytime, any day, but when it comes to the second level between England and Spain, I actually don't have any preference, to be
all right.
honest.
Well, I'm just so happy that the female football is getting traction and they become very recognized. I think it's a very sweet game, and I think the ladies are a bit more stronger than the men. If I will put it, they don't fall so easily. So I want to believe that these 2023 World Cup finals will set another tone for the female football in many countries in the world, so that we can just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Spain. So, Comrade, we're going to take off from where we stopped last week. Still talking about the issue of the tribunal and the tribunal court concerning the presidential elections in Nigeria. We have a sitting president, but whose presidency we can't say will last till tomorrow until the court give judgment otherwise. But I think the obedient
Yeah.
team and even the PDP camp, everybody is having a feeling of some form of happiness, like they know what's going to be the outcome. For many Nigerians, they would want the outcome to be true, and if it's true, as it was on the day of the elections, me and you know where it's going to. And only over the weekend, there was this pictorial evidence and video evidence making the rounds that Peter Gregory Obi was found in the company of these people that are really leading now. I think we have the Senate president there, the deputy Senate president's son or daughter got married, and Peter Gregory Obi was in the company. Some people are even asking, do we know what they don't know? Is this how they do it? But according to Pharaoh Timi, often says that Nigeria comes first, do not die in their war. Should Obi become their enemies? I don't think so. But just as a general discussion on this issue, what is your worries? Are you still full of hope that the tribunal court will give a very good judgment for Nigerians' benefit, not for Peter Gregory Obi, but for the benefit of Nigerians, just like we talked about it last time? I just want us to have a 2 or 3 minutes conversation on this very important topic before we move on to the next one. So what is your take? To be or not to be?
To be or not to be, yes, that's the very important question. I think honestly, from my own standpoint, okay, I am very, very positive. Apparently, not the way everybody possibly would be. My positivity is not just anchored solely on what the outcome of the court judgment is going to be. It transcends that. What I've taught myself is that I refuse, okay, to be as dejected, and disappointed as I was on the 25th of February. I have developed my own coping mechanism, which means that my own optimism, it not transcends whatever judgment is going to be. All eyes are on the judiciary currently. Okay, I spoke with a judge, who is not related to this case, a friend of mine, on this particular matter, because even the judges are watching. And I spoke with him. I said, "What are we expecting?" He told me a few things. He said, he cannot speak about some other aspects of this whole process. But with the evidence himself observed, presented, and the arguments made in the course of the parties, different parties, presenting their own evidence against each other and every other thing. He said one thing that stands out is that if the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is not disqualified, he will be very, very surprised, because right now, from what he could see, or from all the things put together, the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is not qualified to be a candidate of the APC based on the things presented. However, whether the judgment is going to be for a rerun or for to declare Obi the outright winner or Atiku the outright winner, that will not depend on a lot other evidences provided, which himself cannot say anything about, because it's not really directly involved in the case. So that is for the judgment matter. Now, my optimism is this: be it now or later, Obi is the people's president. Now, the reason why I say this is this: the advent of Obi, with the Labour Party, has brought in, an incursion into the political landscape that nobody saw coming. In the beginning, everybody was like, this guy has no structure, this guy has no structure. As we speak, nobody's talking about structure anymore. But from the Blues, a party that did not get up to 6,000 votes in the last election, okay, is currently a major political force in Nigeria. My brother, it is not happening by accident. It is happening because we had a man like Peter Gregory Obi. It is happening because Nigerians saw a man with integrity. It is happening because Nigerians saw a man who spoke their language. And it is happening because Nigeria, queued behind this man to form a movement that is extant, a movement that is alive, a movement that is strong, a movement that is believable, a movement that is transformatory, a movement that has built hope, across the length and breadth of this country. That, for me already, my brother, is huge victory. That's why I said that my own optimism is not anchored on what the judgment is going to be. To be honest with you, whatever judgment is going to come out, you understand what I'm saying now, at the end of the day, will not alter my state of mind looking at, what Obi, with all of us together, we have achieved. You understand what I'm saying now, in this process. Today, the Labour Party, Obiism, is a huge talking point, not just within Nigeria, but across the globe. This is the hope for Nigeria. This is the hope for the future. So whatever the outcome today, my brother, believe me, Obi will sit in Aso Rock as president, whether now or later. That is my optimism. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte, for your optimism. I hope that your optimism becomes reality, and I want it to become reality very soon. I must say that, to be frank, wherever Peter Gregory Obi goes, it's like the people are going with him. And like you said, he's the people's president.
Yes.
And sometimes, like it's always said, the voice of the people is indeed the voice of God. And Comrade Lamte, there's something very unique. We are not just saying this for saying sake. I think there are evidences here and there to say that really the people have made their choice. And I think, because I very much believe in the law of karma, I think whatever you do in this world, you will get it before you die. So I think there's so many good people in Nigeria who have come out to do the needful. They are praying as well. They are optimistic like you are. And I think something indeed will happen. We are not begging for Peter Obi to become president. Or we are appealing to the tribunal. I haven't heard all the evidences before them. Is that they should, in good conscience, do the needful. Exactly. And they know what that needful is. We are not here canvassing for anybody. If it's Obi that won outright, give it to him. If it's Atiku that won outright, give it to him. And if it's Bola Ahmed Tinubu that won outright, give it to him. But you must do this with very clear and concrete evidence, so that there will be no ambiguity and there will be no technicalities at all. And like I said last time we spoke on this issue, once we do the right thing, you'll see that 40 to 50% of our problems will be solved, because everybody will be tuned in to the government, and they will not see policies to be harsh anymore, but they'll see policies all geared towards taking us to indeed the next level. So we are not in any way sub judice. Every report have been filed, final statement already made. We are just waiting in anticipation. And just like we said just before we came in, it's supposed to be 180 days. And I think sometimes in September, that 180 days will come to an end. So what that means is that the judges must give judgment within the next maximum 3 weeks. And we know that whatever happens to the judgment, any party that is not, whose prayer in some sense has not been answered, has another opportunity for 60 days again in the Supreme Court. So, Komelamte, it is not Uhuru it's not Uhuru at all. We still have, in addition to the 3 weeks left, another 8 weeks. So we have another 3 months again to wait and hope that things will get really better. So, friends of the...
Sorry, sir, just before you move away from this subject matter, let's make it very clear, okay? The constitutional provision, okay, to conclude tribunal matters is 180 days, and that 180 days elapsed on the 16th of September.
Fantastic.
On or before the 16th of September, okay, the matter with this tribunal needs to end, okay? Some people have said that judgment would probably come between this week and the coming week, okay? Now, I am not perturbed. They are actually, I got some very good information that the judges actually thought of delivering judgment last week. But whatever reason they may have led to that judgment not coming forth last week, well, I don't know. But I am glad that this judgment will not extend beyond the 16th of September. And from there, if any of the parties now agree to go to the Supreme Court, okay, the Supreme Court will just have 60 days from there to now conclude on this matter. Now, the beauty about this is this. We desire that, the tribunal gives judgment, appropriately. And that's it. And by appropriately, for us, I think very strongly that based on what has been provided, Obi should be declared Mr. President. And once that happens on or before the 16th of September, okay, my brother, for me, it is Uhuru. The reason is because the Supreme Court is not going to entertain new arguments. Rather, the Supreme Court is going to entertain all of the arguments,
based on law.
Yes, that have been received by the appeal court and interpret them appropriately. If there is any way there's been carryover of justice, on the part of the judges of the Supreme Court. And that's what they are going to be doing. And so I tell you, whatever happens, okay, if Obi is declared, I still am very hopeful that Supreme Court will uphold the judgment. If Obi is not declared, I still believe very strongly that the Supreme Court will look at the evidences provided at the level of the appeal court and declare Peter Gregory Obi as the president and the authentic president, the people's president of Nigeria. And if appeal court do what is right, and of course I've heard from a court judge myself who said that there is no reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu should not be kicked out. If they do what is right and Bola Ahmed Tinubu is kicked out, at the level of the appeal court, I expect that to be upheld too at the level of the Supreme Court. So at the end of the day, right now, the judiciary is in the eye of the storm, and I don't envy them right now because I know that they will be under tremendous pressure. Some people have said that Tinubu, a wizard, is going to do everything to ensure that he undermines, the constitution, undermines the people like people allege that he did to become president today, and make them compromise. You understand what I'm saying now? But I have looked at it. The Benin says, at the end of the day, I don't think that the judges will be under pressure from Tinubu and his men alone. They will be under pressure in the hands of Nigerians, in the hands of everybody who is, who is an interested party in this particular case. They will be under pressure, from the international communities. We already see that Europe, America, everybody is interested in this matter. So everybody's watching the judiciary. So if they interpret the law well, the world will know because they're going to give reasons why they're interpreting the law. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And we are going to evaluate, these reasons and at the end of the day. So when you look at the whole matter at the end of the day, even when you tie this thing to what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is already doing. You can see very clearly that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's doings, is all geared towards keeping him in office, not because he believes in what he's doing. Look at the ministerial nominees. I'm not sure we want to go into all of that, but this one is just a compensation list to compensate people who brought him, to power and all that. And that's what we see in the ministerial nominees, and hopefully to use them more, to work with the judges to keep him in office. But the evidence that we have, they are too overwhelming. Peter Gregory will be okay, must, should, and will be Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Comrade. You couldn't have been more succinct. Really, we are wrapping up on this. I am looking forward to one judgment, because I cannot understand that, even though I'm not a trained lawyer. I want to see what happened with the FCT. I want to see how the 25% will be interpreted. I'm very keen on that, because I think, in my view, that the right interpretation of that alone is a clear testament to where we want to go. But we leave it at that. I will leave that as much as you have said. I will just wrap it up with the pidgin English statement we always say. Now time it go take. Stammerer will call him mama name. So hopefully it's only going to take time. The only thing that separates us now is just time.
Sorry, sir. Just for the knowledge, you mentioned FCT. These are part of the mounting issues against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, there was a report I was reading earlier. Okay, I've not been able to, go and verify this report, in depthly, but it's actually what happened. I've not been able to just look at it holistically. But if this report is anything to go back, the reporter was saying that, in 2023 presidential election, the presidential tribunal, okay, and the case with 25% in the FCT, he said after the elections, Buhari called for the cancellation of the election since Obasanjo failed to win FCT. But it was resolved that winning the FCT is not mandatory. In that particular case, winning FCT is not mandatory. It was resolved by the Supreme Court at that time that winning is not mandatory, but having 25% in FCT is mandatory. President Obasanjo, back then satisfied that basic requirement of 25% in 24 states and the FCT. You understand what I'm saying? Now having, scored the highest number of total valid votes. So if you bring that and so many other small judgments concerning the FCT matter to bear, you understand what I'm saying? Now the FCT matter is sacrosanct, except of course until when the constitution is reviewed. Otherwise,
that is why
declaring Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president was in fact a travesty of justice, was a betrayal of the Constitution of Nigeria, was a betrayal of the people of Nigeria. And I think that somebody like the what's it called, the INEC chairman, you understand what I'm saying now, who should understand this more. I think that something should be done. He should go to jail for making Nigerians go through this whole heartache, I'll call it, because this was deliberate. And the people that are saying, alleging that it may have compromised, you understand what I'm saying now? We probably have reasons to believe some of those claims, because there is no human being in this world who knows our political development, who will sit in a position as INEC chairman, who will not understand how sacrosanct the constitutional provision for FCT is. You understand what I'm saying? So to have gone ahead to declare Bola Ahmed Tinubu president of Nigeria, honestly, it's a huge betrayal of the people's trust. It's a huge betrayal of the people's will, and it's a huge betrayal of the process. And all of this will work against Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
absolutely, Comilante, like it's always said, those who the gods want to kill, they first make mad.
Absolutely.
I brought the issue of the FCT because I know that even without being a legal person, we need a proper interpretation of that. And you have said it so well. We can begin to break it into different stratas, but we've been here before. We've talked about it. We are waiting for the justices to deliver judgment. And like I said, as it's always said in pidgin English, now time it go take. Stammerer go call him mama name. So it's only time that is just keeping us apart. Friends and viewers of the Comrade Show, we are going to a very important issue. In fact, this is the main issue for today. It is the local government elections taking place in Edo State by the grace of God on the 2nd of September 2023. Today I was in a gathering and we were talking about Nigeria and looking at how Nigeria has fallen from where we were many years ago to today. That our naira has no value. That £1 is something more than 1,000 naira in our country. And we then concluded in that discussion that the first thing we have is that government is no longer closer to the people and nearer the people. From the fact that federal government subvention or monies allocated go straight to the state government before going to the local government have become a big hindrance. In the course of our discussion, we then talk to ourselves. When you say you want to go and pay your council tax and others, you are dealing with the local council. And there lies our problem in our country. You agree with me that many governors across our country, many state governors in Nigeria have refused on many occasions to conduct local government elections. What they've done is to make appointments to their stooges and people that are shoe shiners to them and begin to fleece the allocations and money meant for local government. I think, in my view, that local government elections are very important. A functioning government must start from the local government. Just like what makes a society is indeed a family. And what makes a proper government is local government, because the people that are in charge are closer to the people and we are able to interact. And they know the needs and problems of these people. So local government is key, and it is of hope that federal government will pay allocation directly to the local government so that they can begin to do those things that are very important. It is on that note that we are focusing, Comrade Show is focusing our light today on the local government elections. We've been crying for years for this to happen, but Governor Godwin Obaseki has no choice. And local government elections in Edo State will be taking place by the grace of God on the 2nd of September 2023. And you will agree with me that Edo State is the foremost obedient state in the whole of Nigeria. That in February they delivered and gave Labour Party the entire victory. Even though we know that PDP, APC seems to be part of the maladministration that the state has suffered, and they are very strong in those states. But Labour Party is on the horizon. And we think that if local government is going to serve us well, we must look differently. And the only way now, if you look out of APC and PDP, is to consider other parties. And the only one that stands out is Labour Party. So much so that tomorrow, our presidential candidate, the people's president, Peter Gregory Obi, will be visiting Edo State, Benin City to be precise, to drum support for local government elections. Edo, across the world, if you are listening to us, we want to hear from you, because our roads are bad, our markets are dilapidated, schools are not functioning, everything local has become non-existent. This local government election is very, very important. Local government administration has existed for a very long time, but we are not seeing the dividend. Peter Gregory Obi visits Edo State for about the third time, this time around to drum support for local government elections. What is your take?
Labour Party.
Now waiting at the here so Peter Obi dey come Benin.
Yes, so he dey show people of Edo State. Our man, the connect man of the Nigerian masses, Peter Obi, they come Benin on Monday, August 21st, 2023, to come join for Edo State Labour Party mega rally for the local government election where they come. So, okay now, Peter Obi go show support and give party flag to all the Labour Party chairmen and councillor candidates for the 18 local government area for Edo State to show say him and the party support them for the election wey go happen on Saturday, September 2nd, 2023 for Edo State. Make we all come out on Monday, August 21st. Come welcome Peter Obi to Edo State again and join this mega rally. With them go do by 10 o'clock down for morning for Baptist Convention Ground for TV Road off Siloko Road, Benin City. For this election, remember to vote for the picture we show Papa, Mama and the Pikin. Labour Party, forward ever. Bam.
Well, thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist Iremiran. Honestly, I don't want to delve into, the Iwizims of the matter. I think that it's a good thing that the local government election is happening now in Edo State. We've privately talked about the strides of Governor Baseki, and there are arguments to support that the governor in some areas, have met up to expectations. And the arguments to support very strongly that in some areas, the government probably need to have done more. And I don't know if they still have time to do more in those areas. But I mean, time, we are going to try to extray. You understand what I'm saying? Because right now, it is one time where a lot of people are, singing and hopefully, asking the governor to finish well and all of that. And there are possibilities that the governor is going to finish well in some areas. There are likelihood that some areas will not, the expectation of the people will not be met. And I'm saying this against the backdrop of the fact that every now and again I've had cause to look at the promises made by His Excellency when he was running for the second term in 2020, and try to look at what is on ground against the promises made, his mega manifesto and every other thing. And we can clearly see that in some areas, the man, has met expectations. And there are areas where I'm arguably going to say that, no, these areas have not been met. Now, one of those low areas, where people are disappointed is in one of those areas. You understand? Particularly given that the governor spoke about this even in the course of the election. That not long after his election, he's going to have local government elections. I think it is an aberration that a state government, will exist for more than 5 years, nearly 6 years. There will be no local government. You understand what I'm saying? Because the Constitution empowers the state to organize local government elections. You understand what I'm saying? That sort of gave the state government, particularly the House of Assembly, to just sit on the local government. There are revenues coming from the federation to the local government. There are accountability that should be taking place at the local government level. There are political participation that will be supposed to be taking place at the local government level. The local government is the closest arm of government to the people of Nigeria. And for any state government, for that matter, to create that vacuum where we have not 1, not 2, not 3 years, not 4 years, more than 5 years without local government elections is a huge travesty. And there is no way we can be blindfolded. You understand what I'm saying now? It is that bad that even today, somebody was asking me, are you sure they are not going to postpone this particular election that is coming up and every other thing? And I could not say yes, I could not say no, because from time to time, each time the state government comes with a timetable to have local government elections, they just postpone the elections. Now, even as we speak, it is very unsettling that even as we speak, the NSEC, that the local organizing committee, the Edo State ANEC, have not gone public to publicize even this election that we're talking about right now that's supposed to hold on the 2nd of September. You understand the picture from what I'm saying now? Which means that they can just wake up tomorrow and say that, this election is not going to hold. But I hope not. Now, even as we speak, they have not come out to publish the guidelines for the election. As far as NSEC is concerned, you understand what I'm saying now? For those of us who are viewing from afar, it doesn't seem like anything is happening. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And that is very sad. Even as we are criticizing the National ANEC chairman, is it Mahmoud or whatever his name is, and all of that, we had months and months and months where they were coming up with guidelines that will guide our national elections, publicizing it, talking about it on TV, on radio, and this local government election, you understand what I'm saying now? The Constitution provides that they will use beavers, okay, so that this election can be, better monitored, better put in, evidence and every other thing. This same NSEC have not come out to tell the world the modalities that they are using to inform Nigerians and Edo State people, you understand, that the election is coming up, to tell them what to do, you understand what I'm saying now, to take part in this election. So it's very unsettling. It's unsettling and it's a shame, you understand, that this responsibility puts in the state local, every committee, the state, NSEC, and in this case and all of that, they are just, acting very funny with it and all of that. So that is the only snack to it. You understand what I'm saying right now, currently. But the failure not to organize local government elections all these years, honestly, we cannot do without talking about it. No matter how much we try to praise, Governor Baseki and his administration, in some areas, there is no way this low ebb cannot be talked about. And I think it's a very big low ebb because it has denied the people participation. But on the flip side, I want to say kudos and a big welcome to HG Peter Gregory Obi, who is coming to Benin tomorrow to meet with those people and ask them to support, to show support for the candidates of the Labour Party. And I think it is because Peter Obi understands very well that if Labour Party must be that signature party, the two-third force, as the case is within Nigerian political, participation, there is the need for all organs, to be working in tandem, and there is the need to have Labour candidates represented at these, elected positions at all levels. Because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, the future of the state, okay, in a few months, the state is going to be talking seriously about the next governor of Edo State. And whether we like it or not, all of these local elections right now, they are going to be pivotal, when it comes to determining who the next governor is going to be. This is why Edo State people must come out and support the Labour Party, because what we've seen of the other political parties over the years, they are not acceptable. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? So now kudos to Labour for being able to pull this off, and kudos to all, supporters of the Labour Party. It is time to make that huge incursion, that huge difference. Let's start with Edo State. And of course, as somebody of interest in this matter, you and I, our advocacy strongly is for, everybody to support Labour Party, most especially in the local government, Oredo and Ipobaha. In fact, let us go out and support the Labour Party. But this is the heart of Labour, the heart of obesity in the whole of Nigeria. And of course, the candidate coming for a local government is somebody that we know very well. Pharmacist Dr. Kennedy Oriahi as chairman, and Engineer Shedrack Abwedefi, as a vice chairman. These people are people that people need to support, for the chairmanship position. And of course, we are going to be talking about them, before the elections. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Lamte, for anchoring on the go. I think I know Pharmacist Oriaki very well. He used to be my senior in the days. And as pharmacists, we are trained to be very dedicated, conscientious, and we have to show empathy. I think he's the right man for the job. I want to appeal to all citizens and residents of Ego local government to come out on the 2nd of September en masse to give their support to the flag bearer of the Labour Party. And Comrade Lamte, in the course of your depositing and talking about the welcome of Peter Gregory Obi to Edo State tomorrow in view of these local government campaigns, you did mention and said that there are worries and concerns if the local government elections will be cancelled or postponed. I want to join you to say that I want to pray against it. I think a proper functioning government has to have a proper local government. And for Governor Godwin Obaseki, whose mission at this time is to finish very well, I think finishing well would just be good if it leaves us with the legacy of having a functioning local government in place. I don't know if the entire 18 local government if they are all featuring a candidate from Labour Party. If you know that in the course of your time, please can you help us talk to our people about that. But I want to say that for as many local government as possible that will be having Labour Party candidates, I think in the run-up to Edo State elections coming up September 2024, it will be very important for Labour Party to have a very good showing in these local government elections, and that will give us an insight of what is happening. I know that so many of those watch our program. Please pick up the phone make some comments. Let's hear a word or two from you. But Comrade Lamptey, we know Peter Obi as the arrowhead and the face of Labour Party. Do you think that other candidates running for this elected office, Comrade Pharmacist Oraki, we know, but others that we don't know so well running under the platform of the Labour Party, do you think they have empathy too, and they will be Obi true and true? Because so many people are concerned. I would like you to shed more light on that.
I did a broadcast yesterday, and so this a similar question like this came up, that made me do that broadcast. Bro, I think what is important, okay, it's not so much what an individual wants to do that is selfish. It is a lot more about what the system provides and how the system accommodates nonsense, how the system accommodates corruption. Under PDP and APC, we can see very clearly that the system they run accommodates corruption, accommodates, all of this nonsense that has brought Nigeria to our knees. Now, I think that what Labour Party needs to do, which is why, as I'm speaking with you right now, I should expect to get information that Peter Obi is already in town and holding a closed-door meeting with all the candidates and all the officials of the Labour Party, because that is going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? Now, it's part of the timetable. And what Obi is trying to entrench is to entrench the policies of integrity, the policies of serving for the glory of service, which himself embodies. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Now, it does not matter where you come from, because there is no way any political party will prohibit any Nigerian who meets the criteria. You understand what I'm saying now? To say you cannot be a member because you are APC member, because you are PDP member before. There is no provision for that. That would be against the laws of the land. But I think what
are you saying that Labour Party don't need share this toga? Come over, your sins will be forgiven?
No, I think what the Labour Party. Now, I'm not holding brief for Labour Party. I'm not a member of Labour Party, as you know. I've told them that there are conditions I want to see in Edo State Labour Party before I can fully publicly come out to say I'm a member of Labour Party. I'm not. I am just an obedient person. I'm an obedient person. I think what Peter Obi is already doing. You can see the last time, just less than a week ago now, this appeal court has affirmed, what's it called, Abure as the national chairman of Labour Party. Now, Abure is already, it's on the camp of Peter Gregory Obi and all of that. So it brings some level of settlement to the party. Now, what Obi is already doing, they were in Lagos less than 2 weeks ago. You understand what I'm saying now? To help inaugurate, the Lagos, executive and consolidate some things there. And I heard that a very serious meeting took place. And the subject line of that meeting is to remind the people that the Labour Party is an alternative, to bring about hope to the Nigerian people. And that cannot come about if Labour Party eventually becomes like the PDP or the APC. It therefore means that the Labour Party, elected officers must exemplify themselves as different. You understand what I'm saying? In line with integrity, in line with competence, in line with serving for the glory of service. And that's exactly the kind of retreat Obi is going to be having with these guys in Edo State. Now, it that behoves on us, you understand what I'm saying? To take that, beyond that level, beyond what Obi is going to say, to understand that being a Labour Party member, okay, you must have agreed internally to be, obistic in yourself, to be baptized. And when you are be baptized, it therefore means that you become a true member of the Labour Party. So I think they have not gotten there yet. Labour Party has not gotten there yet. It's a process, and that is why when Obi is finally proclaimed as the authentic president of the Nigerian state, believe you me, this, okay, will definitely become the signature of the Labour Party. Remember, Obi said, I am not going to steal your money. If I'm not going to steal your money, believe me, nobody will steal your money. Because if the leader is not stealing, the subordinate cannot steal. And he's alive, he's alert to his responsibility. We've seen that in him. We can trace antecedents. These are verifiable facts. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why I feel very strongly that Obi's presidency will not just only transform Nigeria, it will regenerate the Nigerian political landscape vis-a-vis exemplify Labour Party as the party of hope, as a party of true change. And so I am really hopeful that these guys trooping into Labour Party, they will come refined. The reason why I'm hopeful again is that back in the day when I was in Spain, there was this man who we used to know. He was a big brother. Those not a brother, was one of those big guys in the neighborhood. He was an Omila. An Omila means a very notorious criminal, known, going in and out of prison. At the time before me, I left Nigeria many years ago. It was said that the guy had been sentenced to some long jail term. But below and behold, my brother, when I was in Spain, I don't know, about 18 years ago or so, this guy just appeared from nowhere, and I just saw the guy. He was living in my own locality. I later found out from one of my bigger cousins that the guy just came in through their land, this in Morocco, and he was in Spain. Now, the question I was asking myself, this guy was a criminal in Nigeria, well known, terrible human being. You know, some of those people, those were terrible, even with this secondary school. He was one of those guys. Now, the issue was that this guy don't be batting what can do for Spain. So, bro, my brother, within days, weeks, this guy was waking up. Me and they enter the same train 5 o'clock in the morning. When they go and work, when they go my work. Because the system did not provide any room for anybody to be able to practice humilizing. If the guy needed to survive in Spain, he needed to work like everybody was working. Sooner than later, he got his own house, a rented house. He was living like every other human being because there was no room. The system don't provide for it. Now, he was from Milan, Nigeria, because the system provided for that. Provided for milizing, provided for what's it called, terrorism, provided for all sort of nonsense. So it now behoves on Labour Party not to provide room for corrupt politicians, for sensory politicians, but to provide room for integrity, to constantly remind the people that everybody must be in Labour Party and contest an elected position must be acclaimed to be somebody of integrity, somebody who is qualified, somebody who understands service for the glory of service. And that is where, again, I will refer to pharmacist, Dr. Uyi Oriahi, a man I know so well, a man like I've known all my life, a man that I can throw my hat in the ring for. You understand what I'm saying to say, man? This man, when you say integrity, stubbornness to a cause that a man believes, a foremost obestic personality, one who is, who lives, who dreams, within the confines of the belief of Obi. My brother, a local government, okay, will know that, yes, they have supported somebody to become local government chairman of a local government that will be exemplary. And the last time I spoke to him, I said, bro, God willing, a local government gives you the mandate to become the chairman of a local government. What we want to see is not whether you become the best local government in Edo State. What we want to see is you becoming the best local government chairman in Nigeria, possibly in the history of Nigeria. Because this man, I can assure my brother, will not take what does not belong to him. I mean, it's always been like that. And so now in body, you can say no if you got people elected, whether politics truly they change people. Yeah. Because for the others, we've seen it from afar. We will just vouch for them, support them. Eventually, they will disappoint. This one, now the same place. I mean, for feed, then we for take grow. So I have learned from this. I mean, it's part of my own life. Like right from I knew since I was born. You know what I'm saying now? So I don't know, but the body will say no, really. You know what I'm saying now? But so far, say the more that I know about pharmacist Dr. Kennedy Oriahi, my brother, and he has said that, look, bro, we are in this space to tell the people that politics can be what we want it to be, with people of integrity occupying positions and delivering on the deliverables. And a very high visionary person, a professional to the core. He's been a labor leader even in his own place of work and every other thing. Very stubborn to the way he believes in. It doesn't matter whether the whole world is. And to tell you the truth, my brother, even as in the contest election, so my brother, there is some temptation when you don't come, when there are no few people man talk right now, when the guy say, man, look, if you don't want to carry the chairmanship matter, go, I'm gonna carry and go. I will not do that because that will be compromising the people. They never let him go, but these people have thrown some things that will compromise if he's elected. So do this, you understand? Reach agreement like this, and we'll make you the chairman. And they say, man, to hell with it. I will be loyal to the people, not to any individual. So it already started. And I know, you understand, that is the nature of this young man. And my brother, what more can we say? He's very obestic. Very, very highly obestic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. I think Ego has always thrown the spanner in the wheel. I remember when democracy newly started in 1999, Ego was the only exception. Ego is a place that has great University of Benin and so many institutions. They wouldn't disappoint. I know that they will come out to do the needful. And Ego is quite foremost in the entire Edo State. I recommend any day one of my own professional colleague, and as professionals we are trained, we are really professional to the core. I think he's dogged and he's stubborn and he means well and has empathy, which is what we need at the moment in our country. But Comrade Lamte, I think it will also be good if Comrade Show can get a list of other contestants in other local governments across Edo State, so we can put on our website to let people know, so that they are aware. If possible, we want to make it 18/18 in Edo State. And that really, you will agree with me, will set the tone for where the governorship candidate or the next governor of Edo State will be coming. Many people are also worried that maybe the sitting governor will want to throw his weight and use government parastatal to maneuver the election. But I think differently. I think Governor Gordon Obaseki is a different kind of man and would always want things done properly. He has a dog in the fight. The dog in the fight is to make Edo State great. And I think if he sees any party otherwise that want to make Edo State great, he will have no choice but, of course, to support. Because at the end of the day, it's the benefit of the Edo State people that matters. So, Comrade Lante Ponsaraki, please let's try and get a full list of all the contestants in different local governments so that we can let our people know and help them as they make this very important choice. Local government elections is very important in any part of the world. They are the only government that is close to the people. A local government secretariat is just not far. I think it's behind the Uselu market. So if you live in Ego, you can always walk there. Instead of it take you miles to go to Sadebi Avenue, and it take you even something out of so many things to go to the national level and go to Abuja to say you want to go and see the president. But you can always see your local government chairman, and he sees and knows everything happening within the area. If we get local government right, I tell you, Comrade Lamte, we're on the road to greater things. But I want to ask you another question. I've said the lines are open for our viewers to pick up the phone and make some comment. Somebody has just made a comment. I don't have the right answer, but I know, Comrade Lamte, you will be able to clarify. Coca Ernest is saying that, Comrade, you are wrong. Edo local government cabinet was dissolved on March 3rd, 2021. I don't know what it means by that. Is it a local government cabinet that was appointed by the state government, or it was a local government election that was done? If a local government election was done, I don't think that can just be dissolved. You want to shed more light on that if you have the details. If not, we'll move on.
That Edo local government was dissolved. What?
He said, Comrade, you are wrong. Edo local government cabinet was dissolved on March 3rd, 2021.
I think it should provide more clarity so that we understand exactly what he's talking about.
All right, Coca Ernest, you can ring in just to shed more light. We are all it's a learning curve, and those people really will want to hear from you. Comrade September 2nd, just bacon. Yeah. Do you have any itinerant of what Peter Gregory will be doing tomorrow? We know that the event is going to be in a Baptist high school ground, yeah. And we know that lots of local government would be aspirants as local government chairmen, and other members of the local executive will be there as well. Is there any plan for Peter Gregory Obi to see the sitting governor and also the royal father? Are we aware of any of those plans?
I don't know what the other details will be, really. The high point of this matter, which is actually what Obi is coming to town, is to come and show support for what's it called, the labor candidates in the state, for chairmanship position. All the candidates will be at the Baptist ground. Peter B is going to lift each of their hands and present, the mandate to them. You understand what I'm saying? Now, before a large crowd. And so as we speak right now, I spoke with them in Benin just now, and the stage is already being mounted. preparations are ongoing. A lot of work is going on currently and every other thing. As a matter of fact, we're supposed to have one or two of the, chairmanship candidates, be with us right now. But I was told that they are going to be in an emergency meeting, with some stakeholders. Probably Peter Obi is going to be there and all of that. So they will be able to join us and all of that. So the other itinerary, whether Peter Obi was going to be visiting, His Royal Majesty and the governor, I do not know, but I expect that. And again, that thing again is this, just so we know, this program, okay, was not a program that has been incubated for a long time. You understand? Obi coming to Benin is a decision taken within the last 3 or 4 days, as the case may be. Is very, as a matter of fact, I am aware that the proposal that was given, was for him to come like on the 25th and all of that. But looking at the day 25th and all those other day 26th going forward and all the other things that will be happening, you understand? They just squeezed time, and they communicated the state ESCO. I think it was 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, that okay, they will make it on the 21st, which is on Monday. So ordinarily, I would expect that they will pay at least, a visit to His Royal Majesty the Oba of Benin. I would equally expect. Obi is a very thorough man. Okay, if he's unable to pay that visit, I am sure that he would make the call that he will be around. You understand the picture from what I'm saying now? If time will allow him to pay that visit, I don't know. If he's able to pay the governor a visit, I don't know if time is going to allow him. But what I do know is that before Obi steps into Benin City, okay, the authorities will be aware that Obi is coming. I am almost very, very sure of that. So, but I don't know if it's in the itinerary that he will pay this visit. You understand? But over and above that, I think the important thing is that Obi is coming to see the people of Edo State. And I would advise that if there is time, they should make time. If not for anything, to see again His Royal Majesty Omonobanedu Ukwu. Obi is a political man. Himself and His Excellency the Governor of Edo State, Governor Baseki, they can always do their thing. They know how to do their thing. But for our reverend, what's it called, revered Royal Majesty, is not a political man. He's the father of all Edo State people, and I think that they should make a time. If they are listening right now, they should consider that, make a time, to if the Omonoba equally has space for them, to squeeze in and see the Omonoba. Because at the end of the day, if you are looking for the eye of an animal, you go to the head to look for it, not the leg. Omonoba is the eye of Edo State people.
Thank you so much, Komelamte. I just wanted to ask you that because I know that you are very close to the people. You are always getting the iwiwism and the pataquitive that comes out of the local government. You know everything. But I must appeal to Edo State people. I think tomorrow's visit by His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi is very strategic, especially given the fact that the substantive chairman of the Labour Party at the national level is our own son, Julius Abure.
Yes.
And Peter Gregory Obi is coming to Julius Abure's state.
Yes.
So we want that welcome to be tumultuous, want that welcome to be heavy, and we want that welcome to speak to so many issues. I know that those state people will not disappoint. So, Komelati, as we wrap up on this and wrap up on Comrade Show today, I want you to speak. Just last week, the victory was announced that Julius Abure is now the substantive chairman of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
You agree with me that when that news came with all the problems, it put some dust in that beautiful horizon of the Labour Party. But that is behind us now. Julius Abure is in charge. Peter Obi is coming to Edo State. Apampa is gone, and gone indeed for good. Just 2 minutes to talk about what that portends for Labour Party as we wait anxiously for the Presidential Court to give their verdict.
Simply, stability, focus, vision, concentration. Some of us were not happy at all with all of those things happening. But I think what again the Labour Party has shown, particularly looking at the leadership of Peter Gregory Obi, it again exemplifies, the stubbornness of somebody like Peter Obi. If Peter Obi was some other kind of politicians, he will rush to want to quickly go and make settlements. He will rush to go out of his way, get compromised by Abure and what's his name? Apapa and all of those things. Peter Obi knew the eye of the Labour Party, which is the Abure-led government. And we could tell, from what was happening with Apapa and his cohorts, it was a case of, the hand of Jacob and the voice of Esau. We saw, already that some people were already using these people, particularly following some tribal lines, to throw some spoke in the wheel of progress. And the aim was to disrupt the court process. You remember, Apapa went on air and asked that the lawyers of Labour Party should come and report to him. The other man, I don't know his name, whether I bad something. You know what I'm saying? Another Yoruba man in their midst went on to say that
Arabambi.
I cannot, if his name is if something is degrading to even mention his name. You understand what I'm saying now? That nobody in Labour Party should disturb an illegitimate, the illegitimacy that was named is somebody called president by INEC, an INEC president. He was taking side already with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As a matter of fact, they were already calling for the Labour Party to end their court case and that they should support Peter Gregory Obi. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the aim of all of those issues was to ensure that the court, presentations by the Obi Legal Counsel did not see the light of day. Because at the end of the day, it was not Obi that was taking Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC to court. It was Labour Party. So they wanted to use them to take over Labour Party so that they can go to court and withdraw the case. So that today, all of us would have been on the ground for nothing. But Obi did not rush to them. Nobody rushed to them. Obi, as a matter of fact, did not even show that he recognized them at all. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? He did not give attention to them. So I think that what that did was to bring about that level of test that a political party should be tested with. You understand? And we are seeing that the Labour Party, under the leadership of Abure, and of course under the overall leadership of Peter Gregory Obi, is ready to stand the test of time. It's ready to stand against any wind that is blowing and remain focused. And so what this has done is to bring about stability, focus, proper direction, commitment to that direction, and all of that. And we can see that when they were in Lagos the other day, in their own activities, Peter Obi, Abure, and all the chieftains of the Labour Party, you understand what I'm saying now? You could see a very well harmonized environment, with the focus. They are coming to Benin right now. Believe me, it is going to be a very huge delegation coming to Benin. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? All of this is part of the focus. And the focus is to entrench integrity, entrench commitment, entrench that vision. You understand what I'm saying now? That the Labour Party needs to uphold. And that is the vision of Peter Gregory Obi, to further, obidify the people. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? So I think that the appeal court acting in line with justice to pronounce, Abure as the, what's it called, as the chairman of the Labour Party is a step in the right direction. And you may be surprised that they are not even going to choose the matter of the Supreme Court, because the aim they wanted to achieve at that time was defeated. So therefore, there is no aim right now they are going to chase after. You understand what I'm saying? Now, they may have been paid if that is the case. So they've done their job. They failed in their job. So Obi is still standing. The case is alive, and Nigerians are waiting for justice to be delivered. And of course, Nigerians are waiting for Obi to be proclaimed president of Nigeria. And that is what we expect to see.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. You are very correct. The dust is now settled. Labour Party at the national, state, and local government level is moving in one direction. Thank you so much, Arebo Nose Okokoni, for letting us know that the Esan Northeast Local Government Labour Party Labour Party chairmanship flag bearer is Stephen Afua. Esan Northeast Local Government area of Edo State, they have a Labour Party flag bearer, no other but a gentleman, Stephen Afua. I believe in the course of the week, the Comrade Show would have a comprehensive list of all the aspirants, especially from Labour Party, in the 18 local government of Edo State. Friends, viewers of the Comrade Show, we are bringing the show to an end in a few minutes. Thank you so much for being part of the program. We've talked extensively on the Tribunal judgment. We are still hopeful and we know justice will be done and justice will be served, and justice has no option but to do the right thing. We've looked at Edo State and the local government election, saying that for a proper local government to work in a society, just like family, we need to have a functioning local government. And for many years, we have not had this in Edo State. We have a moment in hand. We have a date with history. 2nd of September, where local government elections will be conducted in Edo State. And we are saying that it will be good for all the local government to give victory to Labour chairman candidates so that we can have a complete overhaul of the system. And we know that Edo State, as a foremost obedient state, is on the march again. Pharmacist Oriahi is standing for Ego local government as the chairman under the auspices of the Labour Party. We've also been told that Esan Northeast, we have Stephen Afua. In the course of time, we will let you know more. But please, let us give support to the Labour Party so that September 2nd, Edo State will wake up to something new. Comilante, I've enjoyed this evening with you. We're about to round up. I know this is not on cue, but I mustn't go without saying this. I watched your video during the week that you did concerning the katakata and the wahala bringing between the executive governor of Edo State and the deputy governor of Edo State, no other but Philip Shaibu. And I like the statement you made, saying that you were so happy that we're having a good thief like Philip Shaibu, who has used the money as alleged to create industries and small things within Edo State, so much so that people are benefiting from it. Even though we are not in support, I like the way you coined it. But I decided for us to just have a word or two about this. I listened and I watched a video by the executive governor of Edo State, probably when he played host to Bender Insurance Football Club just before the match. And something struck me. We didn't talk about it, but I just want us to say. And as I was looking at Governor Godwin Obaseki, I was imagining if things had not happened a day before, the deputy governor, Philip Shaibu, who many people have said have contributed immensely to sports, would have been doing that. But it looks like the ambition of Philip Shaibu has driven him to the abyss. What do you have to say? Philip Shaibu, the cookies are crumbling.
Yes, before I quickly go there, let me quickly correct an impression quickly so that we don't submit wrong information. Actually, the local government was dissolved on the 2nd of March 2021, which means that it has been 2 years plus we've not had local government, which again in itself is still very much a huge aberration because there should be no vacuum in government. You understand what I'm saying? Now, so if election holds on September, it means that we've gone over two years, getting to nearly 3 years to have local government elections organized. And
let me stop you there. While you are trying to make that clarification very correctly, don't local government have tenure of office?
3 years.
Oh, okay, all right. So
what's it called? The local government that was dissolved, they were actually inaugurated, sworn in on the 5th of March 2018. Okay. And the governor of Edo State, in a memo, dissolved them on the 2nd of March 2021.
Rightly so.
And so 21, 22, and this is 23, which is like 2 years plus, before we're not talking of local government elections, which already is a lifetime in politics, a lifetime of denied people participation at the council level, a government that is closest to the people and all of that. So that's one of the low moments that we definitely, people will remember the governor for, and we hope that, the salvage, the discourse by ensuring that this election takes place on the 2nd of September, and and after the election, we hope that there will be quick inauguration. You understand what I'm saying? So that the local government can start working for the interest of the people. That's for the local government, and to correct that information out there. Now, on the issue of the governor of Edo State and his deputy, to be honest, for many of us, it's a theater of the absurd. It's a theater of the absurd because it is not what Edo State people expected, and a lot of people have expressed disappointment. And again, this is what the colors of politics. But what struck me is how people started coming out, mostly taking side with the governor of Edo State. These are people who hitherto, you understand what I'm saying now, were pre-singing Philip Shuaibu as the best deputy governor in the history of Nigeria. Some of them said so. Some of them publicly have acclaimed Philip Shuaibu as the man and this and that. Philip Shuaibu as this and that. And these same people were the ones who are not coming out. That's the areas I try to look at. Even if there are issues between His Excellency, the governor of Edo State, and his deputy and all of that, is it nice for people to just easily just take side like this? You understand the picture of what I'm saying? And put down the one they consider weaker, that they may not, that is not probably holding the knife and the bread. Because at the end of the day, they were not doing that because it was Governor Obaseki. They were doing it because Obaseki is the governor of Edo State. If it was Philip Shuaibu that was the governor of Edo State, they probably would have been pitching tent with Philip Shuaibu against the governor of Edo State. When some of us expected, like things like that are happening, you expect politicians to ask the governor and the deputy to share their source and try to, reach amicable resolution. Because whatever they are doing was disturbing Edo State people who want to see a harmonious government deliver on the dividends of governance. That's one. The second aspect is that to understand that it is the ambition of Philip Shuaibu that is creating this problem. Of course, Philip Shuaibu had gone to court to preempt and restrain the governor and the House of Assembly from impeaching him because they were going to impeach him and all of that. And the governor had come out to say that that was not in the pipeline at all. He's not aware of that. But the governor, in other meetings, came out to speak to the fact that he didn't know that some things were going on. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And there were issues. And the issues bordered on Philip Shuaibu's ambition. Again, that further strained my own understanding of the whole process. Because, as a matter of fact, I think honestly that Philip Shuaibu has a right under the Constitution of Nigeria to run for governorship if he wants to. But the decision of who becomes the governor of Edo State is a right that must be led for Edo State people. And the governor of Edo State has a right not to support Philip Shuaibu. And it's a right under his own everything not to support Philip Shuaibu. But to not degenerate and bring these things about and make it look like a public fight was disturbing the peace and tranquility of the people of Edo State and was disturbing the intelligence of the people. And that was not a proper thing. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And when it came to better insurance, though people have argued that Philip Shuaibu is on vacation, that's why he was not there, he was conspicuously missing. The Philip Shuaibu I know, even if he's on vacation, will sacrifice that vacation to be present with the better insurance because he loved sports that much and he loved better insurance that much. We've seen that. He has inconvenienced himself to be with the team, train with the team. On the most important day since he became governor, he is conspicuously absent. And what the governor has never done when it comes to better insurance, the governor was not the one doing it. I mean,
that's why I chose to ask you.
We are not stupid now. You understand what I'm saying now? What the governor did with the team, all the last minute encouragement and all of those things, that was what we know Philip Shuaibu to always do with this team. Not just better insurance, with sports and sports development across Nigeria. And so it goes to show that Philip Shuaibu may have been ostracized because of the ongoing feud between himself and the governor of Edo State. I thought it was not a good sight, really, that we are spending time to analyze and debate and listen to a governor. And the governor has taken time, again and again and again to take swipes at Felix Shuaibu and every other thing. And in one of my brokers, I did come out to say, Your Excellency, with all due respect, okay, you are dealing with Felix Shuaibu, deal with him. Because the governor has his own way of dealing with all his political, enemies, as the case is. You understand what I'm saying now? Taking swipes publicly and all of that, I don't know. I am not receiving it very well. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? If not for anything, for old time's sake, I think that these guys should resolve, their crisis. Now, on the issue of Philip going to court, like Oshomola said, and rightly so, that he does not understand how a court will adjudicate over a matter that is preemptive. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? My own says this. Felix Shuaibu was elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. It's been floated that he wants to go to APC, he wants to go to this. He has, through his, some of his spokesperson, come out to debunk some of those, rumors, as the case is. It doesn't really matter. I want to say, you understand what I'm saying, very categorically clear. If Felix Shuaibu, under whatever arrangements, lives and declare to any political party because he wants ambitious, he has no right to occupy that office anymore. He should be impeached. And in any case, I don't think that there's any court of competent jurisdiction that has a right to stop the impeachment process of anybody. If you are going to be impeached, if you have not done any wrong, why are you afraid? He who must come to equity must come with clean hands. If your hands are clean and there is no loophole, nothing that the people are going to see to impeach you with, they will not impeach you. If they impeach you, you can go to court and, of course, restore your office back and even claim compensation. So it is only people who have done things wrong that will be afraid of indictment and impeachment. Now, on the argument that you alluded to, that's when people said Felix Shuaibu has built so many filling stations in Edo State, he has done this, he has done that. They were using that, as arguments, okay, against Felix Shuaibu, standing in favor of the governor. He has embezzled so much, he has done that. My brother, it is the first time in my recent memory of politics in Nigeria, having looked extensively at politicians that have allegedly stolen from our coffers. It is the first time I'm hearing that somebody has stolen and is investing in the state. And that's why I said that probably if Felix Shuaibu has done that, built supermarkets, built filling stations, built this, and people are working in those establishments, there is probably a thief that should be acknowledged. You understand the picture I'm saying? And not vilified like the rest, because we have heard that it's been alleged that Oshomole stole billions out of Edo State coffers, but we cannot see any place to say this is where Oshomole invested those billions in. People are showing us this in outside of Nigeria, estates built by Oshomole. Trust me, go and mark this today. Okay, the moment Obaseki leaves office, we are going to start hearing how much billions he has stolen. People may not talk about that now, okay? But we're going to start hearing how much billions he has stolen. Allegations of how much billions he has stolen. When Lucky Benin left office, we started hearing how much billions and trillions he stole. It is what we will always hear. But if these people are stealing, and if it's a fact, it's true, okay, I will definitely acknowledge those who would at least invest those stolen things in our country before we go to the page of whether to prosecute them or not to prosecute them.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. If I leave you, you have a lot to say. It's just that I wanted to end to this discussion because I really enjoyed that broadcast that you made, and now you gave a good analysis. I beg to differ from what you've said, Comrade Lamte. I am in support of Governor Godwin Obaseki washing the dirty linen outside. I care less about these politicians. I just care about our dear Edo State. Like I said last time, I have no sympathy for Governor Godwin Obaseki on this issue. I have no sympathy for Philip Shuaibu on this issue because they haven't considered Edo people first. If they did, probably will not be where we are today. And I am a strong believer of the law of karma. What you sow, you will reap. And whatever you do, you will reap. Philip Shuaibu is a master in the game. He has met another solid master. We allow them to be. We're looking forward to the end of their tenure in 2024. Governors and presidents in Nigeria are so powerful. Obaseki doesn't even need to impeach the deputy. He can just make him a lame duck. And I think that is what Philip Shaibu has already become. He's already in the news for the bad reasons. And like he's always said, especially in Nigeria, success has got many followers. Failure indeed is an orphan. Before long, Philip Shaibu will realize that he has no friends anymore. What does that say to everybody and the world? When you are in power, use it well for the betterment of the people, because the last day is coming when you will not have that power anymore. What indeed would you say or do? So we are rounding up now. I want to say that followers of the Comrade Show, please remember to always subscribe to the Comrade Show, share our broadcast, let many people know, see, and come to understand. The Comrade Show is your people's program, and what we do here is to share your views to all our viewers, to share your views and your thoughts, and to bring information to our people. Thank you so much for keeping a date with us. Thank you so much for sharing the evening with us. I must thank you, Comrade Latik Bawosa, for what you do for Nigerians and indeed citizens of Edo State. Let us come out tomorrow in large proportion. Let's make the visit of His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi a very big one in Edo State and Benin City. It will be at the Baptist High School ground to receive and welcome and present all candidates running for office in the 18 local governments of Edo State. If you are a lover of good government, if you are a lover of change, and you want Nigeria to move forward, starting from the local government, tomorrow is a rare opportunity. His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi will be in Edo State. Hurrah! Come out and give that support. Thank you so much for being part of the show today. Thank you so much for our many viewers who contributed and many who will watch this program later and those who have shared. We say thank you so much. We'll come your way again next Sunday. Remain obedient, stay out of trouble. A new Nigeria is possible.
Labour Party.
Now waiting at the here so Peter Obi the company.
Yes, so he dey show people of Edo State. Our man, the connect man of the Nigerian masses, Peter Obi, the company on Monday, August 21st, 2023, to come join for Edo State Labour Party mega rally for the local government election where they come. So, okay now, Peter Obi go show support and give party flag to all the Labour Party chairmen and councillor candidates for the 18 local government area for Edo State to show say him and the party support them for the election wey go happen on Saturday, September 2nd, 2023 for Edo State. Make we all come out on Monday, August 21st. Come welcome Peter Obi to Edo State again and join this mega rally. We them go do by 10 o'clock down for morning for Baptist Convention Ground for TV Road off Siloko Road, Benin City. For this election, remember to vote for the picture. We show Papa, Mama, and the Pikin. Labour Party. Come out on Monday, August 21st. Come on Saturday, September 2nd, 2023 for Edo State. Make on Saturday, September 2nd, 2023 for Edo State. Make we all come out on Monday, August 21st. Come welcome Peter Obi to Edo State again and join this Monday, August 21st. Come welcome Peter Obi to Edo State again and join this mega rally. We them go do by 10 o'clock down for morning for Baptist Convention Ground for TV Road off Siloko Road, Benin City. By 10 o'clock down for morning for Baptist Convention Ground for TV Road off Siloko Road, Benin City. By 10 o'clock down for morning for Baptist Convention Ground for TV Road off Siloko Road, Benin City. By 10 o'clock down for morning for Baptist Convention Ground for TV Road off Siloko Road, Benin City. For this election, remember to vote for the picture. We show Papa, Mama, and the Pikin. Labour Party, forward ever. Bam.
Comrade Show, wait. Comrade Lante Oriente. This is the Comrade Show.